Chris? I got my coffee, my man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Get over it.
Excuse me, sir. Stand right there. You're live already. So, okay, we are with Miss Illinois County Fair Queen. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll just kind of do a quick nonchalant interview.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Samantha Hayspring, and I'm the 2018 Miss Illinois County Fair Queen. Grew up on a farm. My dad raises cattle, and he also farms. So I had a strong agricultural background, and that helped me a lot in the county fair system, and got me to where I am as the Illinois State Fair Queen.
And what county are you from?
I'm from Iroquois County originally, which is about 2 hours northeast of Springfield.
All right, and what does, for those that don't know much about the county queen system, what does it all entail?
Yeah, so every county fair usually has a queen pageant, and once you win your local county queen pageant, you go to the state pageant. And I competed with 72 other women, and that was when I was crowned Miss Illinois County Fair Queen. And my job is to advocate agriculture and advocate for county fairs, and I've done that this entire summer, and now I'm here at the state fair.
And is there a next step? Well, let's ask this. Are you a high school student?
I'm a junior in college right now.
Junior in college, okay. So what school do you go to, and what are you studying?
I'm at Millikan University studying elementary education.
Fantastic. So we need as many educators as we need. Is there anything that you want to say as Miss County Fair Queen to the people of Illinois?
Yeah, I just want to again talk about how important agriculture is to everyday life. It's in every step we take, everywhere we look, there's agriculture, and it's so important to appreciate that and to really realize how important it is to our society, and not only to society, but also to the entirety of the United States.
Fantastic. And I just want to show everyone her boots.
County Fair Queen with her boots.
Right, because as she said, she is a agricultural heritage, has agriculture agricultural in her family. It's in her blood. So thank you so much, and we wish you the best on all your endeavors.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Hi, good morning, everyone. We are here at the Conservation World and Conservation Day. We are going to be hearing a little bit from the director, as well as some other people within the IDNR for the Illinois Conservation Foundation, Hall of Fame recipients, as well as the Illinois volunteer recipients. This is a huge honor. Basically, on the Hall of Fame side, it's people that have dedicated their lives to all sorts of aspects of the outdoor and IDNR, as well as the volunteers. So you may actually know some of the recipients and groups. It's not just an individual, but an entire organization. For example, the Illinois Hunter Retriever Club is here. They're going to be doing that shortly, and we hope that you share this message with everyone so that they can continue to learn a little bit more about what the IDNR entails. It is very loud. They got races going. We are within Conservation World, and we got the fish over here. We got kettle corn. So if you're in the greater Springfield area, or even the Chicagoland area or Southern Illinois, come on down. There's one more day. This is all going to be here tomorrow. And it is a great opportunity to see everything that the IDNR has to offer, all under, well, I'd say one tent, but it's multiple tents. It's all here in Conservation World. We're going to step off and wait for them to get everything to rock and roll. We want to thank you. We want to thank our partners for helping us be able to provide this. Angler Assets, Brush Pile Jigs, Bassett Baits, Fishity. I also want to thank Pat Harrison Outdoors of Garmin, Wired to Fish, Bass University. All of you guys, thank you so much for helping and supporting me and helping bring the outdoors to you. It's just very important to us, both the hunting and fishing world. So it looks like they're kind of getting things ready. I see them checking their clocks. And we're just going to step out of frame here. So thank you all. Continue to share this, and we'll go from there.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Illinois State Fair and Conservation World. We appreciate you being here with us today. It's race day. Could you tell? It's race day at the Illinois State Fair. By the way, the Benton Housing Memorial 100 on the State Fairgrounds mile track has begun. It's just warming up. It'll get louder. So we'll try to outshout the race crew here on this Saturday morning. My name's Tim Schweitzer with the Illinois DNR. We appreciate you joining us here today. Before we go any further, I'd like to invite for some words of welcome our boss, the director of the Illinois Department of Natural Resources. He also serves as chairman of the Illinois Conservation Foundation. Say hello to Wayne Rosenthal.
Like I said, this Conservation Day, I'm Wayne Rosenthal, Director of Natural Resources, and on behalf of Governor Rauner and the state of Illinois, welcome. It's Conservation Days here at the State Fair. Welcome to Conservation World, and you can see all the green we have here, and that's a tribute to a lot of the volunteers. So we're here today to recognize our Hall of Fame recipients and also our volunteers of the year. But if you look around conservation world and all the activities and all the educational opportunities we have, that's because of all the volunteers and things that happen. You know, when you look around, these are things that people did on their own initiative in a lot of cases. It's not people getting paid to do work. It's volunteers out here that are part of our agency that want to make this happen and make sure that people are aware of all of the opportunities and everything that we do throughout DNR. And so as you can see, we got a lot of greenery, pollinator programs are big, native grasses, the trees and forestry, mines, minerals. We got a new fishing aquarium down there so you can see the fish. So there's just everything about this. And we'd like to say we welcome you to the conservation world, and it's always a popular place for people to come. We got shade down here so people can get out of the sun. So like I say, thank you for being here, and we'll go through and make these presentations. Thanks.
Thank you, Director. Join Director Rosenthal to stand down front, and we'll distribute plaques as folks come forward. Plaques and certificates to our outstanding volunteers of the year first, and then our Illinois Outdoor Hall of Fame new inductees coming up second. And it wouldn't be inappropriate, it really wouldn't be a good event at the Illinois State Fair if we did not have with us the Illinois State Fair Miss County Fair, Illinois. Will you say hello? Okay, we're going to begin first by recognizing our 2018 Volunteers of the Year. Our outstanding volunteers come from all over Illinois, and we're delighted all of them are here with us today at the Illinois State Fair. One who was unable to make the trip because he had a previous commitment, but will be honored at some point later on down south, is Bill Bridges. Bill is being honored for his volunteer service as a campground host at Horseshoe Lake State Fish and Wildlife Area down in Alexander County. Just to tell you a little bit about Bill, sometimes folks show up at campgrounds and they don't have everything they need to enjoy the experience. Bill loans out extension cords, matches and lighters. He'll go and haul firewood for people. From Tams, Bill Bridges. While not here, let's give a hand to Bill Bridges for his work at Horseshoe. With us today from down south in the Metro East, we'd like to welcome forward Joanne and Mike Fricky from Waterloo, Illinois. Joanne and Mike, please come. Joanne and Mike were hiding in the shade. That sounds like a very good idea this morning. Joanne and Mike have been volunteering with the Illinois Nature Preserves Commission and the IDNR for 10 years, contributing more than 3,000 hours on natural resources stewardship, monitoring, and protection efforts at Illinois Nature Preserves, at land and water reserves, and natural heritage landmarks. Joanne is also a board member of Clifftop, an important IDNR and IMPC partner in Southwest Illinois. She serves on the Salt Lick Point Land and Water Reserve Committee. The Frickies have also put thousands of hours of effort into stewardship on their own natural areas, the Illinois Ozarks Nature Preserve, and the Luella Schaefer Memorial Hill Prairie Land and Water Reserve. Joanne and Mike are tireless volunteer ambassadors for natural areas preservation and conservation in Southwest Illinois. Let's have a hand for Joanne and Mike Fricky from Waterloo, Illinois. And folks, go back to the show. Next up, we'd like to invite forward from Loda, Illinois, Kevin Gooden. Kevin, will you please come forward? Well, we thought Kevin was here. Maybe he's out getting a corn dog. Let me tell you a little bit about Kevin Gooden. His volunteer service at Kickapoo State Recreation Area and the Middle Fork State Fish and Wildlife Area in Vermilion County has totaled more than 700 hours during the last 2 years. Kevin secured a planter and donations of corn and beans for planting approximately 20 acres of food plots at the sites. He's also assisted site staff with tractor and equipment maintenance, utilizing his welding skills for a variety of tasks around the park. Let's have a hand for Kevin Gooden. Next up, from East Peoria, we'd like to welcome Neil Graves. Neil, please come. Neil Graves is being honored as an outstanding volunteer for his work with the Safety Education Program at the Department of Natural Resources. His commitment to furthering hands-on training of those interested in trapping in Illinois is being honored here today. Neil also serves as president of the Illinois Trappers Association. He's a new volunteer instructor for the IDNR Trapper Education Program. He assisted in revising the student manual. He also provided a training course for the Conservation Police, helping them better understand trappers and trapping methods to assist them in enforcing regulations. He also assisted other safety education instructor teams, organized and taught classes outside his core area to help meet the need. Neil Graves of East Peoria. Our next honoree is an outstanding volunteer, Doug Huesner from Clinton, Illinois. Doug is a retired Illinois Conservation Police officer who's been a volunteer for the last 3 years at Clinton Lakes Shotgun Deer Hunt for persons with disabilities. Doug spends many hours scouting hunting blind locations at the lake. He conducts a safety meeting on the first day of the hunt and coordinates the hunt from 5 a.m. until 6:30 p.m. during the entire 3-day event. Doug serves as the board master for the hunt, tailoring special provisions for each hunter based on their abilities. And Doug also coordinates drop-off and pickup of the hunters. His attention to detail helps make the hunt a great success every year for hunters with disabilities at Clinton Lake. Doug Huesner. We also have some honorees who are not with us today, but I'd like to tell you a little bit about them before we introduce our next honoree who is here. Melody and Russ Howard are from Ramsey. They've been outstanding volunteer campground hosts at Ramsey Lake State Park for the past 14 years. Dick McLean of Springfield is an active volunteer with the Illinois State Museum. Dick's been working as a volunteer at the museum since 2001, assisting with programs in the museum's children's exhibit and play museum. And John Muir of Oglesby has been a volunteer and board member for the Starved Rock Foundation for the past 14 years, providing volunteer service at Starved Rock State Park. Let's have a hand for all those volunteers. The next individual we're delighted to bring forward is Bob Schanzel of Chat. Bob, come on up. Where are you hiding, Bob? There he is. Bob Schanzel brings more than 40, and you can't tell 40 years, this young guy. Bob Schanzel, more than 40 years of experience as a diver and expert on freshwater mussels. IDNR mussel surveys and mussel relocation projects are something Bob participates in every chance he gets. For the past 8 years, he's participated as a volunteer in numerous mussel projects in all parts of the state. He is past president of the Illinois chapter of the American Fisheries Society. Bob also assists the Division of Fisheries at the DNR with fish surveys and recently donated a mussel collection to the department for use in education programs. He volunteers with the Division of Natural Heritage and the Illinois Nature Preserves Commission on prescribed burn projects. Following a 37-year career with the Department of Natural Resources, Bob continues to serve the people of the state as a retiree and an outstanding volunteer. Bob Schanzel. We'd like to honor 4 groups today with their outstanding volunteer service, and representing the Illinois River Hunting Retriever Club will John Henderson. Please come forward, John. The Illinois River Hunting Retrievers Club's volunteer members built and maintain 3 dog training and test areas at Banner Marsh State Fish and Wildlife Area on the Illinois River. Group members have also improved site roadways, mowed and cleared debris from the training areas, and have provided countless volunteer service hours and individual and group monetary donations to projects at Banner Marsh. The Illinois River Hunting Retriever Club and John Henderson, thanks for being with us today. We'd also like to recognize the outstanding volunteer services of the Mississippi Valley Duck Hunters Club of Illinois. Volunteers with that organization during the past year, in fact, provided 15 new wood duck structures to the department and provided work days. Their volunteers placed those duck boxes at the Wagon Lake Land and Water Reserve in St. Clair County. And we'd also like to recognize the Southern Illinois Master Naturalist Kids in the Woods program, which since the fall of 2015, have hosted 10 to 15 family events a month for education programs at the Giant City State Park down in Southern Illinois. So let's recognize members of the Mississippi Valley Duck Hunters Club and the Southern Illinois Master Naturalists at Giant City. Now we'd like to recognize the Starved Rock Cleanup Crew, and I believe Nicholas Donka is here representing that organization. Nick? The Starved Rock Cleanup Crew consists of individual volunteers from many walks of life who care deeply about the care and maintenance of the natural beauty of Starved Rock and Matheson State Parks. Cleanup crew members volunteer weekly, in some cases daily, picking up litter and restoring the beauty of the parks, canyons, and woodland areas at Starved Rock and Matheson. Group leaders salute Starved Rock Cleanup Crew members Ollie Miller, Kelly LeBoy, Kelsey Cox and family, Layla and Liam Cox, John Small II, Anna Sprague, Sharon Shiley, Joe Jack, Diane Sims, Jake Donka, June Donka, Kay Carter, Michaela Heibel, Brent Bader, Becky Mancuso, Wanda Canis, Melissa Ann and family, Terry Warren, Desirata Benazak, Nolan Hallett, and Nicholas Donka, the Starved Rock Cleanup Crew from Starved Rock and Matheson State Parks. We've got plenty of time for folks. Plenty of time for folks. Take your time.
I was going to rebuild it. The back row is going to be out of focus.
Okay.
Looking to me deceiving. All right. All righty. And we're going to go right there. And again. Perfect.
Anybody else?
Come on, Bob, one crazy one. Come on.
Oh, 150 bucks.
Starved Rock Cleanup Crew, congratulations.
I haven't had to replace one in years.
My wife years in It's like any hobby.
Each year since
spend all the money you'll ever
2001,
earn.
the Illinois Conservation
And probably
Foundation
will.
has recognized individuals for exemplary service and commitments to improving conservation efforts and outdoor recreation opportunities in Illinois. The Illinois Conservation Foundation just this week has announced the selections of its 2018 class to the Illinois Outdoor Hall of Fame. We're going to meet those new Hall of Fame members at this time. The Illinois Conservation Foundation would like to recognize its first designee as a new Illinois Outdoor Hall of Fame Class of 2018 inductee. Will Diane Banta from Chicago please come forward? During her more than 35-year career with the National Park Service, Diane's enthusiasm for causes of outdoor recreation has been instrumental in bringing together partners to advance the success of initiatives throughout Northeast Illinois that benefit those who enjoy spending time outdoors. Those success stories range from the completion of the CalSag Trail, the founding of the Millennium Reserve and the Calumet Collaborative, formation of the Hackmatack National Wildlife Refuge, and the development of water trails throughout the region. Diane Banta is well known for bridging gaps between partners, for turning project skeptics into enthusiastic supporters, and for ensuring that local residents have their voices heard on projects in their communities. Diane Banta's nominators described her as an awesome champion for outdoor recreation in Illinois. And Diane, thank you very much for your service. Thank you for being here today. From Director Rosenthal, Eric Skank also with us, the Illinois Conservation Foundation Director. We appreciate you joining us this morning. Next, we'd like to bring forward, and these are in alphabetical order. These are all great folks. They all are at the top of the list. This guy's at the top of a lot of lists. Jerry Beverly, please step forward. From Petersburg, Central Illinois, Jerry Beverly. Jerry Beverly's commitment to and passion for conservation in Illinois earned him a reputation as an ethical and responsible steward of the land, with an expansive understanding of conservation land management for the benefit of all Illinois citizens. Jerry began a lengthy public service career with the then Department of Conservation when he was just 18 years old and was hired as a maintenance worker at Sam Parr State Fish and Wildlife Area. He later served as site superintendent in a number of state parks, focusing on improving infrastructure while protecting natural lands, developing trails, improving park roads and day use areas, and expanding boat access. Jerry rose to the ranks of the department to later serve for 15 years as director of the Office of Land Management, making him the longest-serving manager of the Illinois State Park System. During his tenure, Mr. Beverland was instrumental in acquisition of what is now Loudon Miller State Forest, development of Jim Edgar Panther Creek State Fish and Wildlife Area, and development of the World Shooting and Recreational Complex. He was also instrumental in the founding of the E-Plate, the Environmental License Plate, expanding trails and trail funding, modernizing state park maintenance equipment, expanding the hiring of seasonal park workers. Jerry's commitment to conservation continues in retirement. He's helped draft legislation, enact programs to further land protection, help write conservation stewardship plans, and he's an advocate for outdoor recreation through his role as an officer in the United Bow Hunters of Illinois. From nearby Petersburg, Illinois, Jerry Beverland. Next, we'd like to welcome forward a new inductee into the Illinois Outdoor Hall of Fame from Wilmington, Illinois, David Groney. Mr. Groney, please. David Groney is former chairman of the Independence Tube Corporation of Chicago. He and his wife Marge are longtime passionate supporters of efforts to enhance and expand wildlife habitat to benefit waterfowl and other wildlife. Mr. and Mrs. Groney were recognized by the Fish and Wildlife Service and Ducks Unlimited for their lifetime of philanthropic support, leadership, and service, with the naming of a 1,380-acre waterfowl protection area in their honor. Mr. Groney's support has helped conserve thousands of acres of critical waterfowl nesting habitat, restore and preserve crucial duck migration habitat in the Illinois River Valley, and fund numerous important waterfowl research projects in conjunction with the Max McGraw Wildlife Foundation, Delta Waterfowl Foundation, and the Wetlands Initiative. Through the Independence Tube Corporation and the DF and MT Groney Family Foundation, Mr. Groney has steered $800,000 in donated funds to nature field trips for more than 100,000 Illinois students through the Illinois Biodiversity Field Trip Grant Program managed by the Department of Natural Resources. Mr. Groney realizes the value in providing students and teachers with an opportunity to take their learning outside the classroom and to experience nature firsthand. One nominator wrote, "There is no more outstanding example of a citizen conservationist than Dave Groney." We agree. Dave Groney from Wilmington, congratulations. Next, we'd like to welcome forward an inductee into the Illinois Outdoor Hall of Fame from Barrington in Northeast Illinois. Will Sam Oliver please come forward? Sam Oliver is one of Northeast Illinois' best-known conservationists, directed the efforts of more than 700 volunteer members of the Barrington-based Citizens for Conservation, an organization she led as staff director from 1984 to 2015. CFC is a not-for-profit dedicated to preserving and restoring native habitats that once covered most of Northeast Illinois. CFC preserves and restores land with the help of volunteers and donors who want to protect the health and beauty of the land for future generations. Under Sam Oliver's leadership, the organization expanded education programs for youth and other community members and expanded the organization's natural lands preservation and restoration efforts. One of her nominators noted that Sam Oliver is synonymous with conservation and volunteerism, and we're delighted to welcome her to the Illinois Outdoor Hall of Fame, Sam Oliver. Our next inductee to the Illinois Outdoor Hall of Fame from Vienna, Illinois, Steve Wadowski. Steve, will you please come forward? Steve Wadowski. Steve dedicated most of his professional career serving as a wildlife biologist for the U.S. Forest Service in the Shawnee National Forest. But his influence in enhancing wildlife habitat and outdoor recreation opportunities extends well beyond the forest in southern Illinois. Steve is a Chicago native who was instrumental in the development, restoration, and management of much of the critical wildlife habitat on the Shawnee, including the Big Muddy Bottomlands and the Oakwood Bottoms Green Tree Reservoir, which provide important migration and wintering areas for waterfowl. Steve also took the lead in coordinating a partnership involving the Forest Service, the Heartlands Conservancy, Ducks Unlimited, and other conservation partners to acquire high-priority sites in the Mississippi River floodplain and to restore thousands of acres of wetland and bottomland forest habitat across southern Illinois. Now retired from the Forest Service, Mr. Wadowski continues to work to protect and manage natural resources in the region as a special projects coordinator for the Heartlands Conservancy. Congratulations, Steve Wadowski from Vienna. Our Illinois Outdoor Hall of Fame inductees will be formally honored at the Illinois Outdoor Hall of Fame Gala, which will be held here in Springfield on September 21st. You can get more information on the gala on the Illinois Conservation Foundation website, that's ilcf.org. Director, Eric, Your Majesty, thank you very much for joining us. Congratulations to all, and we appreciate your attendance at Conservation World, the Illinois State Fair, for this recognition ceremony this morning. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy a great day.
All right, well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the ICF Hall of Fame nominees, along with Illinois' volunteer recipients as well. We are going to take off here. We're going to enjoy the rest of Conservation Day here at Conservation World, and we are excited. We want to say thank you all for tuning in, and from all of us here at Capital Outdoors, remember, good luck and stay safe.